Where are you? And I'm so sorry. It's another Blink-182 episode. Oh, baby, we're joined by Andrew Bensley as we discuss the self-titled record for this week's episode of...
Well, we'll just tell your mother that we ate it all.
Are we
Get
going?
ready for action.
Yeah,
Let's do
absolutely.
it.
All right, do you guys want to hear this Tinder bio?
Yeah, go on. Yeah. None of us really want to hear it.
A
but
26-year-old community fundraiser from the University of Sydney. She's a queer woman, lives in Sydney, 1 kilometre away.
Too far.
Podcast dependent.
Ew.
Who can afford to be alone with their thoughts in 2019? Fringe is high, patience for bullshit is low. Talkative woman, TM.
Oh my God.
What's TM mean?
Trademark. Talkative woman is in like it's capitalized. She's saying like my brand is that I'm a talkative
Oh,
woman.
okay.
It's like a Twitter joke essentially.
Okay.
Just like they'd use a different phrase. But
Yeah.
like,
Good
the
comedy
capitalized
crowd
TM
member.
thing is a Twitter thing.
I love how you preface this with the fact that, like, yeah, I'm probably going to fuck this chick.
I am, and we're about to get to that paragraph.
and you'll probably tell her, like, oh, I have a podcast, and then she'll listen to this, and then
I had a
any
Tinder
chance of fucking
conversation
will
this
be
morning
rescinded.
where that basically happened. Terrace house is my second home. Queer, active poly, keep left, no libs, she, her, but don't talk to me if you can't handle they, them. I'm going to be right up in that.
I noticed that they didn't say no turfs or swerfs, so
I think if you can't handle they, them is like...
Yeah, it's pretty close.
She's
to
like
it.
clearly, like if she's giving her pronouns, she's clearly like pro-trans stuff.
If you can't handle me,
and you're now
at my
not
turf,
acknowledging those pronouns.
She said she's she. She said she, her, but don't handle me. Like she's
She
in.
had.
I think she's trying to be like I'm she, her, but I'm cool with. I'll read it out again.
No, don't
No,
read
just
it
the last
again.
line.
No, we don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. We don't
Oh,
want to hear
man,
it.
you guys missed the...
What?
Bensley just did the best off my joke when you guys were debating she, her, and he just went she, han. that's how he identifies.
Oh, dear.
She, her.
No, we don't want to.
It's
Let's
just
move
last
on.
sentence. She, her, but don't talk to me if you can't handle they, them. I think she's she, her. But
Yeah, she's
like,
saying
like,
if you're
I'm
not
cool.
down with wokeness, then
Yeah,
get
she's
fucked.
saying be a lefty like me, which I would love to get on.
The left of her.
I would love to get into the left side. I don't know what that means.
You're going to
You're
get
gonna
left in her wake.
Yeah.
Yeah. If only pussies were on the side. I'm
They're
left
not?
wing, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, man.
Oh,
I had a
man.
lot of conversations to have with Hannah. I've been humping her left side this whole time.
Man, I love it.
How good's West Connects?
Yeah, we're doing a politics episode this
Yeah.
episode. How you feeling, Benzo?
I'm feeling okay, to be
You
honest.
said you had a
Said
pretty
you were-
big afternoon.
A bit lit up.
No, I'm not too lit up, but I watched the Raiders and they lost, but it was a spirited match and the referees didn't look at a clear try, and so if I go off the rails, it's because of that.
Okay.
Has it
But-
occurred to you that if you were from a real city, then maybe you'd be all right?
Queanbeyan's a real city. Country living city benefits, baby.
Yeah.
That's the slogan of Queanbeyan.
I went and did a gig in Canberra recently, and like driving in, it just
Appreciated the beauty.
all the trees
Yeah,
were bare. It felt like driving into a ghost town, and then walking around the streets
Well-
felt like being in a ghost town.
Far out. I've got nothing.
Have you seen the film Ghost Town?
Is that the one
Is
with
that the one with-
Scarlett Johansson?
It is, and Steve Buscemi.
Thora Birch.
Yep,
Yeah.
great
No, I
film.
haven't.
We should do that for the pod.
Thora Birch.
Is it based on a comic, right?
Yeah, based
Yeah.
on graphic novel. Yeah.
One thing I want to throw in just to get you guys like opinion on this, right?
Please.
So as I was about to go,
I love
the
a
next
prepared
game,
guest.
the next game was. I'm not prepared. I was literally just.
You're
watching-
drunk and want to talk about
Yeah,
rugby
yeah.
league.
And so, the next game was Rabbitohs versus Storm.
Yeah.
And
We're in the home of
Yeah,
the
Redfern
Rabbitohs right
locals,
now,
dude.
Redfern.
yeah, and
Yeah.
they're
No, I
getting,
still bleed maroon.
They're getting flogged. But so Storm are putting a pretty like heavy attack on their line, and one of the commentators, like Rabbitohs are keeping them out, and one of the commentators described their defense as a rabbit-proof fence.
Wow. That
has gotta be
incredible.
That's got to be an instant firing.
It was crazy.
That's
Surely,
so bad.
surely the better line would be the Melbourne's defense was a Rabbitoh-proof fence,
You
right?
would think so.
Yeah, and then that becomes even worse in that scenario because the Rabbitohs' connection to Redfern, which obviously has a connection
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
to
wait,
the
maybe it
indigenous
was.
communities
Maybe
of
it was.
Australia.
Oh, but either
Maybe it
way,
was the
like
other way.
Yeah.
Either
Either
way,
way,
either
it's
way, that's a
fucked.
fucking
My
crook joke.
scenario, yeah, it's the more
He's come
obvious
in with
one
a
is the more
pre-written
fucking-
line.
But maybe
Yeah.
it was the other way.
A Rabbitoh-Bruce fence.
That is.
That
that
is
is bad.
cooked.
That
Isn't
is
it?
real bad.
It's so fucked.
That's mainstream sports commentating.
Do you know who the commentator was?
No, it was.
It'd be like, just watching like the soccer and be like, wow, Paul Pogba's fast for one of them. Just like,
Oh,
Rabbitoh
Dear,
fruit
oh
fence.
dear.
That's so fun.
Crazy.
Man, that's
It's
so
like-
sick.
oh man. I wonder if he will face backlash. Probably not, right?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
It's very unlikely. And it's also it's
Having
like,
said that, though, like other people have, like there was a cricket game. There was a recently retired player, Hashim Amla, is like a Muslim or whatever, and former Australian cricketer Dean Jones thought that the like broadcast had gone to an ad or whatever, and he's gone, oh, the terrorist gets a wicket, and he got like instantly sent home, like taken off broadcast for the rest of the day.
Yeah, that's different, I reckon.
Oh, still
The
though,
level
like-
to which we do not respect Indigenous Australians in this country is so fucked up. Like,
Yeah,
it's
but
so
it, like-
out of control.
But in sport is one of the places where they like highlight Indigenous players and whatnot. So
Sure.
like,
Yeah.
I also
That-
think
that's
rugby
real
league
crook.
is like a bit has a different culture. I think with rugby league you're gonna get the thing, and like keep in mind as well, like people beat their wives and get away with it in rugby league, like that's fine. But I think the thing of like
You're
encouraged.
condoning it?
no,
Yeah, okay.
I'm not condoning. But the thing,
yeah,
of,
that was a weird choice of words.
Yeah, you're like, it's fine.
I was like,
Well,
they
they
think
don't
it's
get
fine.
away
It's
with it,
fine,
yeah.
as in it's
They should be kicked out of
consider
the
it
league,
fine.
really, but they're
Yeah,
not.
yeah. Hot take, Benz. Yeah, when people beat their wives, they should lose their jobs.
I
yeah.
think so.
Brave. But no, it's the thing that we've spoken about a lot of, like, if you don't claim to be woke, if you never participate in, like, id-poll stuff, or, like, if you never, like, whatever, do any of that, you can just go, no, I didn't mean it like fucking that, and you'll just never have to address it again.
What's the over-under
if
that
you just
it-
don't participate, you're
What's
fine.
the over-under that it even gets mentioned
It won't.
tomorrow?
It won't even get mentioned, because he never claimed to be woke, so what? He's not being
Yeah.
held to a standard.
I don't know,
No,
though.
but yeah,
Rabbit
commentating the
proof fence
game.
is too complicated an idea to communicate someone who doesn't have to deal with
So you're
this.
saying that the mainstream media is too dumb?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am absolutely
I don't know.
saying
I
That
reckon.
makes sense.
I reckon that could come up.
it's too nuanced to explain why that's wrong. You'd have to go. You're alluding to a thing from a long time ago.
We're gonna have to-
That is also a pop culture.
Okay.
Like it's too
We're
complicated.
going to have to follow Crikey tomorrow to see if they,
Yeah, yeah. We'll
they're
give you an
media
update
watchdogs.
next week.
But
Our phones are all
we're
listening. We'll
we're
get the
calling them out
news.com.au.
early. We're letting you
Yes.
know that it's not
Yeah.
okay.
I
Yeah.
brought it up because I thought it was funny, but
You just thought it was a sweet piece. Of,
Oh, the cheeky look on your face afterwards. You're like, did I do that?
yeah. You just thought it was a nifty bit of commentary.
Yeah, you're like, what? Check out the wordplay on this man.
Yeah, that guy should get that guy in a writer's room. Man, that's sick.
Shall we get into it because we have shit to talk about?
Can
Absolutely.
I get one quick opinion first?
Of course.
Because I probably
Of
need
course.
to start looking for work again because money's running out. I just got a tattoo of a cartoon character on my arm. Does
Yeah.
this make me like much less employable than if it was just the tree?
No.
Not much
You'd be
less
wearing-
employable, but it is a noticeable difference.
but no, because
Long
you
sleeve.
cover the sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, if
Any
you-
interview, you cover the sleeve.
Yeah, they're also not allowed to fire you for it once they've hired.
These days, like,
is
tattoo
true.
stuff is so much more lax
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, I work for a corporate. I can't say exactly what we do because I don't want to say where I work. But like, I work for a corporate company. Like I work.
Yeah,
so
of course
we-
you don't want to say
we
where you
specialize
work.
in,
You
like,
literally
corporate
spent the
events and
last
shit.
episode talking about how you bought cocaine at the site of your office.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, no, but yeah, I'm fine, and I look like way more.
What's
like
the name of the
piece
company
shit.
you work for then?
I'm not gonna say.
Okay.
For any listeners, I got a tattoo of the hormone monstrous from Big Mouth. Check it out on my
It
socials.
looks good.
I think it does. Yeah,
I'm a big fan of the character.
It's a bit crusty at the moment, but
Yeah, it does
Krusty
look like
Demons.
Krusty the Clown. No, I don't know.
I thought she
man,
did
you
a
gotta,
great
you,
job.
look, you miss every shot you don't take. You know what I'm saying?
Trusty Demon's not bad. That's a good
Thank
record.
Oh
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I first heard this song, Superman by Bad Religion.
Ah.
Not Three Doors Down.
No, Goldfinger.
Goldfinger.
No, not
Three Doors
sorry.
Down.
It is a Bad Religion song, but he mentions Superman.
Three
I can't
Doors
remember what the
Down is
song's called.
Kryptonite.
That's
Yes.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, but he was saying the song was called Superman.
There's a Bad
Eminem.
Religion song mentioning Superman's part of the lyrics, but I
Yeah.
can't remember what the song's
Seinfeld.
called.
He talks about Superman.
yeah, yeah.
If I go
think it
crazy,
was.
will you still call me Superman?
That's the song, yeah.
All right,
I know
let's
you
get
want
into
me,
it.
baby.
Welcome to We'll Just Tell Your Mother We Ate It
I
All, a
think you want
podcast
me
about teen
too.
sex comedies and things thereabouts. This is going to please some
I think I love you,
listeners
baby.
and really annoy others. This week, it's another Blink-182 app.
Yeah.
We're doing the untitled 5th studio album, which was released on November 18, 2003 by Geffen Records. Following their ascent to stardom and success of their prior two releases, the trio was compelled to take a break and subsequently participated in various side projects, Boxcar Racer and Transplants. When they
Paul Mark.
regrouped, they felt inspired to approach song structure and arrangements different on their next effort together.
Yeah.
Boo.
All right, I'm going to start with what's physically in front of us. I'm looking at the physical copy of the album right here.
Yes, I've got the
I'm
CD.
looking at the bro. So the first band T-shirt. The first band I ever saw live was Blink-182.
I had the tour shirt with that
Yeah,
on it.
I saw him when I was 14 years old. The tour shirt with this logo on it and this pattern with the green and the pink. I had that shirt.
I had that too.
I am going to reorder it from Hot Topic in 2 weeks. I was looking at it. It's
Ooh.
currently
Can
available.
I get one?
Yeah, do you want one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get you one.
Bensley,
White
you
shirt.
want in on this action?
I don't.
Why not?
I don't know.
I love to
Just
do.
trying to be controversial.
I love to do comedy with my friends.
You're supposed to yes and dude.
Yeah, you know about blocking, right? You're,
Oh man, no, I don't.
yeah. Say no, I don't, and then have a funny reason why is how you do comedy.
That doesn't sound very funny.
That sounds like you're explaining yourself more than anything.
I'm looking at this physical case. I'm looking at this booklet with the pink liner notes and the notes under every song about from like the songwriters. Looking at this pink disc, especially the actual physical CD. This pink disc.
At this time, Mark was playing a pink bass.
I remember it was like a pastel-y pink bass. He also had a pastel blue and a pastel green one.
Yeah.
Looking at this CD is filling me with such nostalgia. This album is groundbreaking. It is huge. It is important to me both personally and I think it's important like musicologically for the genre of not even the genre of pop punk, for the genre of alternative music.
I would
it's an
argue that
iconic
this album is not
Okay.
particularly pop punk.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
Hot
it's
take.
not- it's
Fine,
not.
sure. And I think that's important.
Well, the reason I don't want to order a shirt is because I love Blink and always will, and I love this album, but I don't want to be associated with this era Blink because I feel like it's lame.
Fuck you.
I'm with you.
It's outwardly lame. I love. Don't get me wrong. I fucking love it, and I listen
Yeah.
to it all the time. But if I was going to choose, like, I would rather get the fucking bunny that Tom DeLonge has tattooed.
Yeah, the crappy pop punk shirt is cool.
Yeah.
I don't know about
Although
this
that
at
being
all.
said, like I do love the logo. I
like
was
the
so
aesthetic of this
excited.
album
Logo's
cover as well.
good, yeah.
I really like the green and pink with the black smiley
Don't
face
get-
thing.
yeah.
Looks dope.
It looks great. I love everything.
And they
about
still
it.
use that logo. Like this was when they debuted that logo, and it's such a fucking good logo.
Yeah,
Man, so good. What an album.
But were they arguably, like, you know, Enema of the State? They became hugely mainstream.
That's their quintessential album.
Did
I
this
think.
become even more mainstream?
Yes.
You know, like
This
this,
album
was
was
the
huge.
next step up.
I believe so.
That's
my
I
understanding.
would argue that it didn't make it more mainstream and maybe just maintained it.
My
I would
understanding is
agree with
that-
Rose's
No,
story.
Because I
think-
Miss You was a
Yeah.
huge hit.
Huge hit.
I'd have
But
to
the
fact check
others,
this.
not so much. Like a Down wouldn't have got anywhere
No.
near the play that like the stuff off Enema got.
Feeling
like,
this was pretty huge.
Feeling This
no.
was pretty.
But
But that was also
I Miss
probably because
You
it was
was
the
a crossover-
first single off their
Yeah.
new album.
Yeah.
I Miss You as a crossover hit. I Miss You was maybe their biggest
They
single.
played it
yet.
on
Other than all the small
104.7
Yeah.
constantly.
Other than all the small things, I think I Miss You was their biggest hit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah. I
Also,
think
before we move on, I
crushed.
just want to talk about a thing that we got sent this week by
Sure.
off-mentioned listener Ross, who has
Friends?
drawn on a little.
Yes.
We make that joke every
That joke's been
time.
made. He sent me a little.
Rachel.
He sent me a little post-it note on which he's drawn a Venn diagram. People who enjoy teen movies, people who enjoy Blink-182. He's put himself, Ross, there in the teen movies thing, and then the tiny intersection between the two. Rosie, Jamie, Andy.
Okay, I reckon the intersection of people who like pop punk and teen sex
I
comedy.
ready it's one
pretty
circle.
one fucking
yeah.
circle.
Yeah.
Come
Fuck
on.
me.
But he
No
said,
wonder everyone, like, Ross is everyone's least favorite character, dude. He suck, Ross.
he did send that to me with I
This is
think
already
I
gone.
think he sent that to me when we had put out a movie episode after the second Blink-182 episode we did, saying like, "Thank God, back to business as usual." We'll
want to hit skip on this one, bud.
yeah, we'll share that on socials.
Yeah.
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 I don't know, man. Like,
And you weren't on a break, dog. You cheated, player.
do you think so?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I reckon
that
Ross was on a break.
Yeah, I think they. I think they were.
shit. Look,
on break.
bros before hoes makes me think that yes,
Yeah.
I'll stand up for Ross.
Yeah, just
At
by
any time.
virtue of
But
being
I'm
a
hoes
man,
before
I'm gonna
bros,
side with
so-
Ross.
Yeah.
There you go. What do you reckon though?
I reckon
Rachel's
that.
in the wrong.
Yeah, I do.
Rachel
Us-
proposed
I
the
actually-
break.
I
Us in the
ran.
yard.
I ran a poll on my Instagram stories once, saying like who was right, and Ross took a huge early lead of like 25-3 or something like that, and then
Nice.
Rachel stormed it home and won like 37-35 or something.
Oh,
All right, here's the definitive take. All right, they were on a break. Ross said, Rachel said that they were on a break. However,
still a shitty thing to do.
still a shitty thing
Yes.
to do. Ross, like the argument, Rachel's making a bad argument. The argument shouldn't have been whether or not they were on a break. They objectively were. What she should be arguing is you shouldn't have gone and fucked someone that night, you fucking psycho.
Although when you
Yeah,
get hurt,
it's also like
Or not even she shouldn't be mad, but that is such a clear indication of how little he valued the relationship. He can or can't do whatever he wants. He's entitled to have sex with her if he wants. He absolutely
I don't know.
is.
But
I'm not
also-
gonna fucking get back with him after that.
But also,
Fuck, he's not.
people grieve in different ways.
Exactly.
I had a
But I think the thing is like the interpretation of
You're
what.
talking to the
where-
king of the sad fuck right now. What are you like?
But the big like question is like the interpretation of on a break. Like, does it mean they were broken up, or does it mean they were just having a little bit of a break from each other, but like
No,
still
Yeah.
not
break
fucking
means-
around?
I had a 3-year relationship dissolve on Easter Thursday and Easter Sunday. You better believe. I was in
Damn.
there, baby. So I know how my dog Ross
he
feels.
rose from the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
I agreed to
Yeah,
be in
my
an open
dick rose
relationship.
from the dead.
I agreed to be in an open relationship on a Tuesday afternoon. She was getting plowed down by Tuesday late afternoon. I had got it sorted on Friday. It was fine.
Yeah.
Far out.
Yeah.
Hooked up at a work party.
You got talked into that open relationship.
Yeah.
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 And it's worked out for everyone.
Yeah, I'm so
and
happy.
the wedding is going to be
Yeah, I bet it took
free
a
of
fuckload of
controversy.
talking into.
Yeah.
Man, I can't wait till someone tells Nana that I love to have threesomes with.
Yeah, it's my speech. It's my speech is like, fuck. There's like, Sam Baring's here, everybody.
Whatever.
Jamie Giuano, take a bow.
There's people on my side as well. No.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, if it seems like I'm just roasting a vet, it's mean. If it feels like I'm roasting you, everyone will be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's something about you that's
Yeah.
just like preeminently roastable.
I asked Alexi, and he said it was my desperation. He says the reason people have treated me the way they do my entire life is because I need it too bad.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah,
It's
that
probably
makes a bit
true.
of
It's quite
sense.
insightful, actually.
Makes
I
a
would
bit
have
of
said the
sense.
hair, but
I didn't always have this hair. Bensley.
So Hastings, you've kind of talked about how you feel about this album briefly. Let's go around the horn. How does it?
Can I just say something quickly before I forget? No, just because this is I bet I know exactly how Andy is going to react
Sure.
to this particular nugget I found in the Wikipedia article for this.
Please.
In addition to the home being converted into a studio, pay-per-view pornography was on continuous
Yeah.
play, and it included a space to, quotes, smoke hella weed in the garage.
Do you guys not write that way? Or is that not- that's what I call writing. Is that- yeah, no, that's sick, man. I would love to be in Blink-182, maybe more than anything in the entire world.
that's weird though. Like
DeLong
24-hour
commented,
porn.
if I wasn't smoking half of Columbia, I probably ran up $3 million in adult film charges.
Columbia aren't known for their weed production.
No, it's
Tom.
another... Maybe he was smoking
Cocaine.
cocaine.
They're
Yeah.
more known for cocaine. I'm pretty sure they do have a fair
Yeah.
amount of weed production.
Yeah, 'cause it's like Colombian Kush.
But there
Yeah.
was like a lot of things, like for Barker, he later
But no, he's
consi-
better off saying like Afghani.
he later considered it his favorite
Afghani's
time in the
famous.
band's history, commenting, "That was a
Afghani's
good time in my life. I was smoking just enough weed and taking just enough pills."
Yep.
Fucking
It's
hectic.
weird that they now say, because like obviously it seems like they did not like recording the album.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many contradictory things in that. I was sitting in a cafe last week alone, reading that the whole article or whatever, and there are so many contradictory things about like how good a time they were having recording, and
We're gonna be a
just
band
as
forever.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's possible that it degenerated on the tour.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible
It
that...
sounds like it did. I heard people who saw them on different nights of the tour and said that occasionally, like, the banter could seem quite, like, mean-spirited.
When I saw it,
and
it just
not-
felt very forced. I saw them on this tour, and it seemed very forced.
I saw them, and I got a good night, I think.
I got a fine night. I had a great time.
A Hastings fine, though? Or like a...
Yeah,
It was fine, all right? Tom DeLonge didn't even call Mark a faggot.
I don't think they ever did that.
So
They
how do
definitely
you...
used the word gay a lot, but
Yeah. But they never, like, called someone gay. They
called
said,
each
like,
other gay.
they were
yeah, it was
gay.
often like, I'm gay, like
Yeah.
I root your dad.
They're gay. Yeah, that was the pioneering thing.
Yeah. Sorry, so you were saying go around the horn.
Yeah, and say how you feel about this damn album.
All right,
you want me to
who
go
do we
first?
start with?
Benzo.
All right. Well, I like the album. I will maintain that I like the album, and listening to it, like re-listening to it, has switched a lot of. You know, I read the Wikipedia article as well, and I think my rankings of Blink albums has changed. I still like this album, and I associate it with like a fun, like, you know, I was in high school, and I've got a lot, like, specific songs trigger some pretty fucking.
It's a very nostalgic album.
Ridiculous
I get,
memories.
Didn't you say
I
you
get
had
more
a
nostalgic with this
story?
album
I
than any
got a
other Blink album.
story about. Do you want me to go? I can do it. Now.
Yeah.
So.
This podcast has no structure.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I love that as soon as I said I've got a story, Jamie. got up
Jamie
and
just said we
left.
kind of just cut each other off as walking off the podcast.
Yes, he did.
He's quit.
Well, this came out when I was in year 10, and
Yeah.
so I dated the same girl throughout high school from late year 8 through to year 12, and this is in Queanbeyan, New South Wales. However, in the summer holidays of year 10, when this album had just come out, I went to Queensland because I used to live in Queensland when I was in primary school. Mm-hmm. Part of this little trip
I actually didn't know that about you.
I did. For a year I lived in Caboolture, and I went back to Caboolture to visit some friends. One of the friends I visited was
Isn't that
my...
in Turkmenistan? Where is
was
Caboolture?
my
Two guys
Isn't
from
that
Caboolture.
like fermented soft drink everywhere
Yeah.
around these days?
I lived in Caboolture. And I visited my ex-girlfriend from primary school,
Sick.
who I hadn't seen.
She wasn't still in primary school, right?
Yeah, we dated. I was in year
Yeah, we
6.
dated 6 weeks earlier.
I was in year 6. She was in kindy.
Oh, God.
No, we were both in year 7 up there. Year 7 is our year 6. It's fucking weird up there.
Yep.
That's
And,
still primary school.
Still primary school is year 7. Year 8 is
wow.
the first year of high
They
school.
don't do kindergarten.
It's very strange.
Right.
Anyway, I met.
Inbreds.
I went there and I met her. We went to the movies with a bunch of friends, and then I called my girlfriend.
Maybe I'll
in
see you at a
Queanbeyan.
movie. Sneak preview.
Exactly. I called my girlfriend at the time and I said, "Sorry, babe. Still in love with my girlfriend from Queensland."
Oh, no.
Hadn't done a thing. Like I'd had sex with my girlfriend here. She'd like.
You did sex in year 7?
No. This is the
Year 10.
year 10.
Oh, right. You dated in year 7. You're in year 10.
So yeah, so I call the the current girlfriend to say about the ex-girlfriend.
Who
All
you've-
we'd done was kissed, and we got in trouble for kissing behind a bush once. Had to see the principal, and and I called her and was like, "Sorry, still like I was such a drama queen. I was like, still,
That's so sick.
I'm sorry. I just all these feelings came up. Never saw her again for the rest of the trip or anything. And then
So you saw her at the movies.
I saw her
with
at-
a bunch of friends.
a bunch of friends.
Did you hook up?
No.
So you just saw her
We
and
hung
then
out.
dumped
You
your
just got these
girlfriend.
nostalgia pangs.
Well, here's the thing.
Jesus.
I didn't.
You were
This
on a
goes back
break.
to we're on a break because I said this and we had this whole thing and all I remember is listening to this album on the drive from Caboolture down to Brisbane Airport, which is roughly an hour and it's roughly the length of the album. And I was listening the whole time and the listening to Always.
Oh, man. Such a good song.
That. And being all sad in the front seat while my mum was driving. She's
Sick.
like, "Why are you
Thinking
so
about
emo?"
Travis Barker and our Sophie having a...
I'm tearing up. And then I full on basically pulled like a George Costanza where he quits his job and then just shows up on Monday. Like, I just got back home and I was like, hey, what's up, babe? What's going on? Just pretended I'd never done.
Did she say anything?
Oh, we had a huge fight. We stayed here.
I thought maybe you'd try that thing where like, oh, my brother took my phone.
Nope. No.
Yeah, Danny got me
man.
on good.
That does sound like classic Bensley to just show up and just like crack open a beer and be like, "Hey, babe,
Hey, what's going on? Nothing weird here.
no one left you for their primary school
We
girlfriend."
stayed together for 2 more years, so it worked.
What
Oh man, that's
what
wild.
movie did you go see?
Oh, fuck. I don't even know. I have no recollection.
First time a girl ever touched my penis, it was in V for Vendetta.
Oh, really?
That's what we call a
Yikes.
Hastings story.
yeah, that
V
is.
V for venereal disease.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's
So
more
sick.
of you.
Hugo Weaving.
All right, that is a great.
Yes.
That is such
So
a Bensley story.
Always.
So complicated history with this album, really.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I just felt like I had that. That was the exact era of an album that's going to stick with you no matter even. Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's a big
I'm never
part
gonna
of
think it's
my-
bad.
I think that's a big part of my opinion on this album as well. Should I go next?
Yeah.
Sure.
I love this album. This is probably like this is my third favorite Blink-182 album. It's probably like my sixth favorite album in the whole world. I will defend this album every single day until I die if I need to. There's like 2 bad things about this album. It's like almost perfect. I think this album's unbelievable. Every single bangs. Every one.
Jamie.
Down is so
Big
underrated.
call.
Down is such a good song.
I'm with you. Down's
Always
good.
feeling this and I miss you. We already know are great. Sure.
I-
Down, such a good song as well. Down, I think, is like as good as feeling this. Almost as good as feeling this.
Look,
oh man, I'm
I-
fuming.
I,
I'm itching. I'm itching to
I'm-
get involved.
I'm the biggest supporter of this album, and I don't necessarily agree with that. I think Down is better than I remember it, but
Can you stand for something for once in your fucking life?
there's some pretty strong opinions on it in the past. No, I reckon the single choices for this are a bit odd.
yes. yes.
No.
All right, let's say you've got 4 singles. All right,
Yeah.
Feeling This, absolute great
Yep.
first single.
Agreed.
Cracker.
I would
Um,
also agree.
What else would you choose?
I miss you.
I
Um,
reckon you go.
Okay, let's play
You
a
wanna-
game.
you
Can we
wanna-
play a game quickly?
Yes.
So they released 4 singles in this album
Yes.
cycle.
So I was going to.
So you're obviously going to say the 4
Let me
singles
just
that there
do
are,
a
right?
quick scan.
Well, let's go around and do what our 4 singles would be.
All right, I want to go for like the kind of mix that they went for. So Feeling This, great opener, great first
Such a
thing.
good
Right?
opener.
You want to go down
Perfect.
pace, right? All of this, because then you can get old Robert Smith in the video.
I hate that song.
Then you got what instead of down, I reckon what like replace Always with Here's Your Letter,
I'd say maybe Go.
I love
Go's the
Here's
only
Can
one I would
we
consider.
do it one at a time?
All right.
and then Asthenia
Okay.
or Violence, because that was like quite unique for them.
Interesting. I would say my 4 lead singles are the existing lead singles. In this order, it would go Feeling This, I Miss You, Down, Always.
That's
That's what it was.
That's what I'm fucking
Yeah.
saying, dude. That's what I'm fucking getting
Yeah,
at. If
what's
you wanna
yours,
fucking
baby
pay
Benz?
attention.
I agree with Feeling This, and I absolutely agree with I Miss You. That was huge. I'm going to say... I hate to say it, I'm inclined to agree with Hastings. I think
Oh.
I like the singles. I like all the singles.
Yeah. Go is the only one where I'd be like, Go and, hey, how do you even pronounce it?
I think it's
Asthenia?
Asthenia.
Asthenia.
Asthenia?
is
I
one
would
of my
say
favourites.
that and Go could easily be singles.
It's one of my favorite songs on the album, and
Yeah.
no qualms here.
Violence fills me with nostalgia, but I think it's a little too weird to be a single.
Okay.
I reckon that's why you put it out.
I'm
Man,
gonna,
I don't hate that argument. I also don't hate the all of this Robert Smith argument, but I think Blink-182 are doing just fine.
I'm gonna go.
Because I reckon the chorus of Violence slaps so
It
much
does.
harder than
It's great.
down,
It
down,
really-
down,
Yeah.
down.
I like that chorus.
Because the chorus of Violence could easily be like take out the verses. The chorus just sounds like something that would have
Also,
been on Take Off Your Pants and
the part
Jacket.
of
Like the guitar tone is the same.
The chorus of Down has two parts. The second part where he's going down, 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 down.
That's the
part's
outro to
That
the
guy's
chorus.
like a little boring. Or
Actually,
whatever.
you know what? Down, I take off my list. Down can suck my dick.
No!
Asthenia is
Asthenia
Asthenia's
fucking
a great
rips.
song. But no, the tidal waves. That part's great.
Yeah, that's good.
That part's sick. That's a chorus.
Here is my opinion. Asthenia is Tom's best song.
Yes.
Tom's best
Damn, that is
Blink-182
a
song.
take.
Ever.
Yep.
Ooh,
It's
that's
the best
insane.
Tom song.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, it's
a fucking-
definitely the best Tom song
It's
on this album.
It's a banger. It's almost like the serious
Untitled.
version of like Aliens Exist. It's like, all right, here we can talk about space,
I'm sorry.
but
I'm sorry, it's a great song.
All right, Jamie.
Okay, so I would actually not put Feeling This as the leading single.
would you have it as a single?
I would have it as a second single.
Right.
Because sometimes with these album cycles, the first single kind of goes unnoticed and the second single hella blows up.
And do you think Feeling
That was
This
like
should be the star track?
Enema. Like, What's My Age Again was big, but all the small things
Yeah.
blew it out of the
So
water.
I think
Still the
you,
biggest
I
song,
think
I
you
think.
put Go as the first track because it's pop punky,
It's very Blink-182.
but it's also aggressive in a way that they weren't before. Then I would put Feeling This as the second single. Then I would put Asthenia as the third single. Then I would probably put I Miss You as the fourth single, even though I don't really love I Miss You.
I Miss You actually.
Well, I'm so sorry.
Oh my god. I think I Miss You is. I think it's a little overrated personally.
Of course
but
it is.
people connected with it so hard that you can't argue it. you
Yeah.
know?
Okay, have we done Rose's opinion of the album yet?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Well,
we
Rose,
haven't.
go for it.
All right.
This
Stop
is
trying
my,
to silence trans women.
I think we've heard it.
this is my favorite Blink-182 album. It's so good.
Yes.
It's like, I remember hearing it at the time it came out and just being like, holy shit. Like, it was like, at that age, it's like what you would have felt like if you were like a bit older when Kid A came out.
Kid asshole.
Hell yeah.
I
Rest in
also
peace,
reckon,
Epstein.
Epstein, baby.
like, I reckon the biggest departure of sound they had isn't this from Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. I reckon it's Neighborhoods from this. Because Neighborhoods...
Ooh,
Neighborhoods
Jamie,
is
I
an
know you have a hot
Neighborhoods
take
is
on
an
that.
Angels and
Interesting.
Airwaves album that has Mark on it.
I don't know
Yeah.
about that take at all.
It
Maybe
is
we
for
should save
sure.
that for the Neighborhoods episode.
Go back. Oh,
So-
we're not getting a whole F out of Neighborhoods.
So interesting because I could talk about neighborhoods all day.
I reckon
Yeah.
Neighborhoods is just an Angels and Airwaves album with Mark on it.
You know that meme where it's like the black
Like
guy
there's-
wearing the backwards cap and he's doing this face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's so, like Neighborhoods
that.
is like there's so many samey tracks
But
on
really-
it, and there's so many forgettable tracks. Whereas like this is just like a fucking roller coaster. They tried so much
I think I'm
different
too
shit.
close to this to pot about it.
I think this might be a kind of an extension of fuck. What was Tom's band that he,
Boxcar Racer.
Boxcar Racer.
I agree with that.
There's
And I
definitely
like-
heavy
but
influence
I
of that.
I love Boxcar
Because
Racer.
there
love
was like
Boxcar Racer.
because there was like post hardcore influence on that, and that's
Big time.
definitely there on this.
This is like emo. This is like Blink-182 does emo.
Yeah, yeah.
And I like that. I think it sounds great. I think they're very good at being an emo band.
One producer note.
Jamie looks furious.
He also looks sad. What's the producer note?
Or just one if I could bring the band into the room and be like, guys, I think this is a better thing to take. Like, some of the titles are weird to me. Like they have like Stockholm Syndrome,
Yeah.
and then they've just got a song called Down, and I think it should be called Down Syndrome. And or Stockholm. You know?
Oh man, how long were you holding on to that one for?
What?
That's why you've been sitting on your hand this entire time? I thought it was so that when you jerked off, it felt like someone else was doing it.
Yeah. That's what Tom thinks aliens are.
Yeah. Oh man.
Man, that's sick.
All right, that's been an episode.
I got a lot of opinions on this album.
Yeah, I want to hear your you teased.
I've
to
got
me
some,
the
I've
other
got
day.
some hot takes.
All right, because
Yeah,
we've
no
already said this is like your 5th favorite Blink record or something like that.
I liked it upon first listen, hated it for years, and now I would say I still don't love it.
What do you hate?
Okay, well, first off, like,
Here's your liner notes if you want to have a win.
no. I think the liner notes are stupid.
I
and
like them. I haven't read them in 20 years, but
Re-listening today, I listened to it today.
15.
The fucking both the interlude tracks
Yeah.
are cringy as shit.
Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with that.
That
Fallen
is- it's
Interlude and
embarrassing.
the intro for Stockholm Syndrome are both pretty rough.
And that letter.
Yeah.
That's the intro for
My
Stockholm Syndrome.
dearest.
Yeah,
My
that's
dearest.
the Stockholm Syndrome. Yeah.
Well, before we get
Fuck
into your
off.
controversial opinions, I listened to this album about 5 or 6 times in the last week, just getting psyched for this. And I would have always been like that Fallen Interlude, which I hate the title, terrible. That would have always been an instant skip. But if you're listening to the album as a whole, fucking works.
No.
It works.
I agree with Rose.
It works.
I agree with
think
Rose.
It's like it's cool. There's some cool sounding ideas on it.
Man, they did the interlude better in Neighborhoods with the Hearts All Gone interlude because at least it shared some semblance of the song that was to come.
Well, there's bits of down. You know.
Yeah. And also the letter has the melody from the pre-chorus from Stockholm
That's
Syndrome.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. First off,
The
line
letter intro could be good without reading the letter.
If she was a better actress as well, it would
she
have been
is
better.
a famous actress.
Man, she does not perform well in that reading.
But like,
Because it's a stilted
dog
letter
shit.
written by an idiot to like his girlfriend back home. It's like
He'd
a
written in
hoppus
the
relative.
30s or whatever, yeah.
He's just like, to be like if you went to war and you're like, Yvette, I want to touch your pussy when I get home, while like a somber piano plays.
but like, do you think you would like?
I'm
it
so
if it
horny
didn't
right
have the
now.
reading
I
the
can't
letter
remember the
and
time
just had the
last time I was
piano
this
intro?
horny.
If it was maybe,
Do.
actually, that's a really good point. Shut the fuck up. It's a really good point. If it was just the haunting piano without the reading, I would think that's a pretty cool introduction for that.
Yeah, I agree.
I have a lot of problems with this album. My first is that like I wish the liner notes didn't exist because it is such a leap to maturity. But when you read the liner notes, they're all so teenage poetry immature. Like Down is like, yeah, there was a photo and I imagine what it'd be like if it was like raining.
Yeah.
And like Easy Target is one where it's like, oh yeah, like someone threw a water balloon on someone. He went home wet and depressed. And you're like, I kind of like wish I didn't know that. Like it's a song about a guy coming to a woman's house in a BMX, like getting water bombed.
Isn't that Tom? Didn't they name it Tom?
No, it's like someone they knew, I think.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And
Keeping
like then
in mind that anyone talking earnestly about their own art usually sounds shit.
yes, which is why like I wish that didn't exist. And like and then the other things where like which is like an problem I think is emblematic for me with the album of a whole, where they're just kind of like, yeah, and then we fucking chucked this layer on and then this layer and we thought it sounded cool. And I was like,
Yeah, always uses like 4 basses on top of each other to sound like an organ and
Violence
shit
to
like
me,
that. Like-
Violence to me is a song ruined by production effects.
Well, Violence,
I love Violence.
Violence, the chorus and the bridge are
Yeah.
great. The whole like.
I kind of
the
like
whole
it
dumb
now.
drum
I like
shit.
it
I
as
hate
nos-
that
I like it as
I
nostalgia now.
I reckon it works to lead into like the chorus blowing up.
no.
Yeah.
You've got to stop doing that.
No, I like
Like
it.
you are in the minority here.
Yeah, which is why I'm trying to fucking talk because everyone else is doing it. Yeah, there are a lot of, I think, interestingly, completely opposite to what everyone has been saying, especially Rose. I think I would have less of a problem with this album if Neighborhoods had come before it. Because from Take Off Your Pants and Jacket to Neighborhoods, I'd be like, oh, okay, like it's still pop punk, but they've added like a U2 kind of like stadium synths and stuff, but they still kept it. And then if it went to self-titled, I'd probably be like, you know what? Like they went more experimental, good for them.
When I
Whereas
was-
like
when I was-
this is kind of like so different from Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. Neighborhoods to me seems like a middle ground return to normalcy.
I can't even. I don't even know what you're saying. Right?
I need to listen to Neighborhoods again to.
I listened to it
comment.
recently. He's wrong.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
wrong.
I
I don't think it's closer to their normal stuff than this album is though. I
Yeah.
think it's a more refined post-punk sound.
it's not
and that-
post-punk at all.
It
It's just
usually- no,
Angels and Airwaves.
No, it's got a lot of like kind of like 80s synths and shit in it. It's got a lot of that vibe. And I'm saying I can understand why you're arguing that that's closer to like what they were doing than this one. But I don't think that. I think it's just another style change, which is less, I guess, early 2000s alt rock.
I think this is the only album, sound-wise, that is holding together a core of Blink-182 while they all want to do their own sound
Yeah.
that they
Yes.
want to do.
That I agree
it's
with.
Really?
like-
I see the same showing, like of a band that's like on the app.
But that's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. Is everyone? This is the core. Like Tom wants to do this. Mark
Yeah,
wants
do you
to do
hate
this.
Let It Be too? Like, what do you...
And everything's tearing apart, but this is the center that holds for Blink-182. This is the last Blink-182 album.
This is the last Blink-182 album, really.
Yeah,
Like-
because Neighborhoods is just an
Disagree.
Angels and Airwaves with Mark.
I think Neighborhoods is a better album than this. Like,
But
also,
it's not a Blink-
So what you're
182
saying is you like Angels and Airwaves more than Blink-182.
well, I never listened to an Angel and Airwaves album the whole way through. Also,
I think I listened to I Empire all the way through once.
if this is another thing I have with this album that became apparent to me the more I listened to it. If I went to see Blink-182 live today in 2019 and Tom was still playing on them,
Yes.
I would be mad if I Miss
come.
You down and Always were on a set list instead of something like Josie, Roller Coaster.
That's a
But-
completely different argument.
Yeah, but
No,
also
it's just
having-
saying I don't
agree.
think the songs stand up to like classic Blink.
sure,
No,
yeah,
but,
but
I,
that's
like,
not-
I wouldn't want those. But if like
I
they
also
were
wouldn't
missing
want
out
any
on
to-
like Stockholm Syndrome or Asthenia and stuff like that, like I would hate that.
I'd want to hear
Like-
Feeling This and Asthenia, maybe.
I'd rather hear pretty much any track from this album, even though there are tracks I really like
All right.
off Neighborhoods, but this is still more Blink-182 to me
yeah,
than
if-
Neighborhoods.
So you would rather hear a Neighborhoods track than Always?
Yes, absolutely.
No.
I'd rather hear Ghost on the
can't
Dance
handle
Floor, Natives, After
shit.
Midnight,
You
Snake
crazy.
Charmer, Heart's All Gone.
I like
The
some of
only
these songs, but you're
Helicopter-
crazy.
There's only two songs from Neighborhoods that I would really want to hear, and they are Kaleidoscope because I think that's a really good
Kaleidoscope
song.
It's a great
rules.
song.
And it's because probably the most marquee non-fucking Angels and Airwaves
I
song
think
on
it's
there.
like the best song on that album.
And two, Up All Night, purely because that's one of the most fun songs to sing in Tom voice.
I like Snake.
Up All
I like
Just because the chorus of that is like some of the most Tom
But there
voice
can
there
only
is.
be one Up All Night, and that's Unwritten Law.
Yeah,
I loved
Right.
that song. Maybe I still do. I haven't listened to Unwritten Law for a while.
Unwritten
but-
Law are sick.
I've
talk
said
about
this before on the
Unwritten
pod, but I met the guy. I met the lead singer once.
From Unwritten Law?
Yeah. He was DJing at AMPM, and I was like, "Hey, man."
That's sad.
He was just like, "Yeah, I'll hang out." Like he was an after show party, like an after party show.
Yeah, man. That's depressing as hell.
Yeah, I also hung out with like D's Nuts a couple times. Like,
All right.
They would
That
just
being-
hang out and like hit on 18-year-olds. It was sick.
One thing I did forget about this album, I think Here's Your Letter is a great song.
Here's Your Letter is sick.
He's always a good song.
Let's do
The-
this. Favorite track, least favorite track. We did that on the last one.
Okay.
Interludes excluded, obviously.
Yeah, no
Yes.
Fallen Interlude. What, you want me to start?
Sure.
The best track on it is Asthenia. The worst track is a tie between All of This and Lost Without You.
This is not the worst. It's what your least favorite and most favorite are.
That's what I said.
Benzo, what hit me, baby?
Oh, this is.
If you want arguments, go to argue for or against, you can.
This is tough. I'm gonna say. Oh man, I'm gonna say Easy Target might be my least favorite.
Easy Target sucks.
And or Easy Target or Obvious. It's my.
Obvious sucks too.
Really, I like both of those.
I think
songs.
my favorite song is Asthenia. I think that's just a great song. Maybe Here's Your Letter. They're like that's top two.
Those
for
are
me.
mine two favorites.
Or Always. I fucking love Always, and that's
I
because
hate Always.
that was the song I was listening to when
Yeah.
I broke up with my.
So it's a personal thing. Though.
yeah.
My least favorite, personally, would be probably. There's a lot to probably Obvious. I think it's pretty boring. I
Yeah.
think Obvious is quite a boring song. And my favorite would probably have to be Feeling This or Always, or maybe even maybe Stockholm Syndrome.
Whoa.
Yeah, I
Stockholm
like
Syndrome would be in my top 5.
Stockholm Syndrome is good. It's pretty heavy. It's fun.
Just get rid of the narrative. Like, just.
Okay, least favorite, Lost Without You. They could have done without that. Like I like that they were trying to do the long outro thing, but it's
I
just
like
like
Lost Without You.
Yeah,
the
I like
more
it as well.
forgettable one for me. And honorable mentions to Asthenia and Violence, but top billing has got to be Stockholm Syndrome.
Wow.
I have a story about Lost Without You. When I was 14 years old, and this album was big on the rotation at the time.
Were you afraid of being alone? Because I
Oh
am.
my god!
We should do a Drake meme where it's Lost Without You by Blink-182 with him looking offended and Lost Without You by Delta Goodrum giving
Man,
Oh,
Delta
that was
rules.
fun. I was looking up the lyrics to like some of these songs because I was researching it today. And if you search Stockholm Syndrome lyrics, The first result
Muse?
is
Muse?
no, it's One Direction,
Whoa.
then Muse, then Blink-182. So
There'd be even more too.
Third
They're
billing.
fucking like every third.
That's why they
band
should
has
have
a song
changed the
called
song
Stockholm
name. Like
Syndrome.
you did say.
exactly. It's just Stockholm, baby.
I was 14 years old. I asked out a girl. She said no. And I have a very distinct memory of crying.
And you
on
went
my-
home
Yeah,
cold,
dude.
wet, and
I have a
alone.
distinct memory of crying on my bed being 14 and listening to Lost Without You. Very cool memory.
Far out.
Yeah, you all have met that girl.
Who?
It's my friend Olivia. She
Oh,
used to
yeah,
date
yeah,
Cassie, yeah.
Have I met her?
You would have, yeah. She used to date Cassie and yeah, she's like around sometimes.
And former
She was at
guest
my engagement
Dave
party.
Henningham.
She'll be at my wedding and stuff.
Sick.
She's like one of my oldest.
So can I bring
My
that?
oldest friend.
Can I bring that up in the
She's
speech?
like
Be like, we got
95 years old.
Olivia here,
Yeah, I asked her out when we were like 14, yeah.
and she said no.
I think this
She
album
made
has a
the right
good
call.
run home. I know that you hate the Robert Smith song. I think the album has a good run home, and
I think the album has a bad run home.
I like I'm Lost Without You. I think
I like it too.
I really
I like
the
Angels
Robert
and
Smith
Airwaves.
song.
the
I should-
album's best section is the middle.
I think
Stockholm Syndrome, Go, Astania.
But you don't like Down and the Fallen Interlude,
Yeah, that's
which are a part of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's like my favorite track. Like I would say, because if you went through it otherwise, I would say Feeling This Great, Obvious, no. I Miss You, no. Violence, no. So that's 1 out of 4. Then Stockholm
See,
Syndrome.
I reckon that's 3 out of 4, baby.
So then Stockholm Syndrome, yes. Down, no. Fallen Interlude, no. Go, Astenia, 3 out of 5. And then, let me see. Always no, Easy Target, no. All of This, no. Here's Your Letter, yes. It's the middle section is the best part of the album.
I think the album slaps front to back. I remember like when I first heard this, like hearing the guitars at the start of Obvious and just being like, "Fuck, this is heavy."
yeah, that's so
I was
funny.
already listening to like Jimmy Eat World at this point, so I was just like, okay, they're trying to do like emo stuff, like Saves the Day, Writes the Spring Mineral, and stuff
I
like that.
Well,
remember-
that was around the time that I found out how big a fan of Jimmy Eat World Tom was.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
a very-
when like Bleed American came out,
Yeah.
I flipped my lid.
yeah.
Well, Bleed American's a year older than this.
Yeah.
But like this is very much like I get why people love it if you hadn't heard that genre before, because it feels very much like a bridging course to my first emo album.
Yes,
we
which I treated it as.
Yeah, which it wasn't for me. Like
Yeah,
at that
right,
point I was
okay.
like, I already listened to emo. They got emo in my Blink-182.
we
Right,
talked
okay.
about this, and I think
Like I don't like Fall Out Boy being a dance band now. Like
Yeah. Okay. Right.
we had the whole conversation about how this we both got into Jimmy Eat World from Tom DeLonge mentioning that he had them play it at his
wedding.
No, Mark organised for that.
Which and I still can't remember where I was in my like musical sort of thing, but there was a point in the late 90s and early 2000s where if you were like into kind of alternative music in Australia, you just, or at least I was, I took, you know, if you look at 2001, I was into fucking Linkin Park, Korn, Blink, like whatever it
Bizkit.
was, Limp Bizkit. I just wanted anything like that.
Yeah.
And I remember not liking feeling this when I had when the first single came out. I loved Enema of the State. That was one of my favorite albums. I had it on cassette. Like
What
a
about
fucking
Take Off Your Pants and Jack A?
loved it both. The second I saw Feeling This, I was like, I don't like this album, and then it just grew on me. And I was like, yeah, this album fucking rules.
Oh man, I loved it from the fucking word go.
I hated the film clip for Feeling
Did
This
you
for
like it
some
from the
reason.
song?
I love
though?
the film clip for Feeling.
Oh, they're in
I
jail.
loved it by that point already and continued to love it at that point, you know.
One thing that annoys me about it is like the whole this is Blink-182 being mature.
Yeah.
And like that's so lame.
That's hard to shake for me.
It's so annoying. And like when
But
you
it's
get,
also kind of accurate.
but
It was
like,
them maturing a
the
bit.
whole thing, like there's a fucking in
They
Stockholm
shouldn't have put
syndrome.
that so heavily into the marketing. I think
Yeah.
they should have just let the growth be organic rather than.
I
Be
don't think
like,
it's in the marketing. It's in the liner notes.
No,
Like,
but I mean, like they shouldn't have the whole thing. That's what I mean. That's included in the
I
marketing.
don't wanna hear
The
a
whole-
fucking-
They didn't need to tell us so many times it was them being mature. Let us figure it out.
I
Let us
don't
be
wanna
like, oh,
hear-
this is a new take. Like, just put the album.
I don't know. I don't think I heard that from the marketing. Like
Nah,
I
I
listened
did.
to this and I
I
was like,
remember there
oh,
was
they're
a-
trying something.
I remember a lot of stuff around being like, this is mature.
Yeah,
Blink
that was all
182.
the reviews and stuff. I don't want to hear a 28-year-old man go, afraid of the dark. Like, come on, dude.
I love it.
It sucks. I love a Tom DeLonge voice, but I love him because he's cheeky and like he used to have the funniest fucking lyrics. I don't want to hear him be like, afraid of the dark.
There is some good Tom riffage in here, but nothing I'd call as iconic as what's come before either.
Guys, did you know that this song is about people's inability to communicate with one another and how words and explanations only confuse
Yeah,
the
even though
shit?
it's like, because even like the bridge. What the fuck?
That was
So,
all
like,
of this. That was from Mark.
See, you hate Easy Target. There's some killer tom guitar in that part where it drops out, and it's just like you can hear him like strumming the guitar really loudly.
Yeah.
I love the fucking.
But like
sound of
even
that.
like the stuff that I like the bridge to Estenia, where it's just like the palm muting. That's like a different key version of the thing he did in First Date. Like
there's some killer Mark bass on the start. of
there's
the
better Mark bass
The
in
tone
this
of
album
that
than
while
ever
it's
before.
it's like just kind of like chugging along while the little reverb thing plays out. It sounds fantastic.
And I mean, like, without Travis, this album would probably be knocked down a couple notches.
For sure.
Travis
you
is the
couldn't-
best musician on Blink-182.
Like, we've
head and
had this tape before,
shoulders,
but
yeah.
yes, absolutely
you couldn't
he is.
make
Undoubtedly
this
he
album
is.
with Scott Rayner.
No.
No, Scott Rayner would have been like, guys, let's talk about our penises.
Did
Have we
you-
thought about that?
Can we go around? Did you ever have, which I definitely did,
An alcohol problem? We've all got them right now.
Did you?
Yeah,
No,
we
I
haven't gotten
transferred
up
my name
beers.
to weed, and it's actually better.
Did you ever
No,
want
it
to
isn't.
get a side lip piercing from Tom DeLonge inspired? I definitely did.
Yeah, I did.
You had one?
He had
I'm
he had
pointing
snake
at it
bites.
right now.
I had snake bites for.
But
Eight-
snake bites.
No.
Did you
so-
get one first? and then
Yeah.
got the other?
So I had
Okay.
snake bites for like 8 years. Before that, I had 1 year of One Ring, left side.
Just Tom.
Oh,
DeLonge.
baby.
Did
It
you?
was Tom DeLonge inspired.
I
You
wanted
better
one.
believe it.
I never got one, but I really wanted
I
one.
never
I
got
was
it.
like,
My-
give me the fucking Tom DeLonge. Like, I
My
absolutely did that.
my ex-girlfriend, not while we were together, but she had one and just still has the hole.
I still got
It'll
the
never
holes
go
in my
away.
face.
The thing I wanted to do most from a Blink-182 aesthetic was dye my hair purple like Mark Hoppus in the Josie clip.
I used to try and get my hair like Mark's was in this era, which isn't on this, but it's like he had that kind of like shaved around the side and then just fucking like crazy spiked up all over the top. I tried to give that a crack.
Man, sick. I mean, I'll try and find a photo of me with
No one wants to.
No,
look
we'll
like
do it
Travis.
like I'll do it off pod. Like we can post it if we want, but
Oh, I wasn't talking about you. I just said no one wants to look like Travis.
oh yeah, no,
Oh, yeah,
not
no,
at all.
fuck that.
Absolutely
Travis
not.
is arguably the best looking one. Like,
He fucked the most.
Nah,
he's got a whole
Hoppus,
look and
baby.
stuff.
Yeah,
I think
Mark's
Tom-
still a good looking
Mark-
dude.
Oh no, I wanted to fuck Tom. Like I actively wanted to have sex.
Yeah,
with
that's
Tom
like
DeLonge.
defined your whole personality.
They're all
That's
just,
true.
They're all hot dudes, and they all like made it work.
They all fuck, probably.
Yeah, they all fuck.
They all definitely fuck.
Well, they were all.
Travis was the coolest one. Like he always seemed like he was like.
Nah, I think Travis is the lamest one.
Yeah, I kind of felt that
Interesting.
from watching like the Urethra Chronicles and stuff like
Like,
that.
Travis
he also
just-
always seemed a bit dumb.
He's just like white trash. He loves
I
cars.
think he just loves
Yeah,
drumming
I
and
just I
cars.
spend my wealth on buying like 65
I
Cadillacs.
think he's
maybe-
cool. I think in real life he'd be the coolest.
See, I think maybe it's like a thing of like who you identify with. Like Mark and Tom seem like two people you can goof around and
Yeah, exactly.
like have a beer
But I
with.
just thought-
Oh, I'd
like-
much rather hang with those two.
Yeah.
I don't want to say objectively cool. I want to say like he's the coolest to some party
Yeah.
who's going to be like some groupie backstage.
Exactly,
Gonna be like,
exactly.
He's the coolest one. But whereas Mark and Tom are like fun dudes. Who are-
Yeah.
But Travis is also a professional divorcer.
Yeah.
He's had like 4 wives or something like
Oh,
that.
really?
How
Yeah.
And
how much
honestly, respect.
how much
Hell yeah.
weed do you think they smoked on the albums before this?
I reckon far less.
I reckon this
They
is
did- they
an
did
album.
smoke. I know they
yeah, but I
smoked.
reckon this is an album born out of weed. Being like, have you
Yeah.
ever listened to like Sergeant Pepper before?
Yeah, there might be a bit
It's
of
like
that
let's
kind
put
of-
some let's put like a cowbell in the bridge. Like
Yeah.
that's like
Except it wouldn't have been something so like iconic. It'd be like, you ever listen to the band Bad Astronaut?
yeah, but it's just like all stuff like Violence is one where like I can imagine them smoking weed being like more layers.
Yeah,
Just
there's a
being
lot of.
like-
I've read this is a.
There's probably like a great version of Violence somewhere missing all that studio horseshit, the effect over Tom's voice
Dude,
that I
the
think
great
is great.
version of Violence is found right on this record.
There's going to be a great version of Violence happening after this podcast.
You all heard that on record. Man threatens violence against trans woman.
This is a quote from.
No, I
Mark-
said there's going to be great display of it.
This is a
I'm
quote.
gonna beat Bensley and be like, you see? Do you see what
You're
happened?
wrong, Rose. While I just bang on Bensley's midsection.
I got a quote from Mark Hoppus here. Read this song always, which is obviously released as a single. This is a Totals 80s song. As the outro, there are 4 bass guitars being played. A Fender Bass 6, a Fender Precision Bass doing 2 different things, and a Roland synth bass that sounds like a keyboard.
Lame.
Yeah, that's lame. But
Yeah.
also, that song's fucking sick. I don't give a shit.
No, but do you know what? It's lame to put that in your liner notes, but to do that is
sounds great.
Good. You should experiment in the studio. You should try and do what you can to get like the best sound.
Also, those like miniature 6-string basses are such a weird instrument. Like you don't see them
Yeah,
much.
I hunted one down.
They're so
at
you
the time.
never see them. Like they sound sick, but
Well,
they're
because
odd.
it's basically just a guitar that's tuned down an
Yes,
octave.
yes, exactly. But it's odd. It's so weird because it's like 6-string basses are a thing as well, and it's a
Yeah.
completely different thing.
But
to that.
I like playing chords on bass, so I wanted one of them.
Yeah, that makes
Love
sense.
shredding the bass like
Yeah.
Lou Barlow. That's
They
why I
should
bought
have
the
had
same bass as
7-string
him.
guitars, tuned them all down, and just played corn songs.
They should have just played corn songs.
That would have been sick.
I love to play bass like Fieldy with like the bass basically vertical and just hitting it with your hand.
Yeah.
And
he
then
would. I saw Limp Bizkit, and they had the bass was like the fret markings, like the dots on like the third, fifth, whatever.
They're all big glowing.
They're big.
Like,
They light up. Like there's a battery that powers.
What, it's to
lights
teach him how to play the bass
Yeah.
as it's
I think it
going?
just
Like he's playing Guitar
I
Hero.
think it just
or
looks
something.
sick. Is the reasoning?
You ever had a look at like Sam Rivers? I think is his name these days. Like he definitely votes Trump,
Who's Sam Rivers?
the bass player for Limp Bizkit.
Oh, sick.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck.
Yeah,
He
that-
looked like he voted. He had a goatee and shit, right?
Man, he's the only member of Limp Bizkit that I don't know the name of. I was just thinking because I was like, oh, like I probably don't know anyone apart from Fred.
Well, we
Durst.
know John Otto.
and then
'cause he's
yeah,
taken
John
to the
Otto.
Matthews
He takes it to the
Bridge.
Matthews. Bridge.
DJ Lethal brings it on.
DJ Lethal.
And then
And everyone
Wes
knows who
Borland.
Wes Borland
Wes
is.
Borland.
I was thinking of John Otto when I was picturing Sam Rivers.
He had the big goatee as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah.
Looked like he could have been in System of a Down.
Man,
Does
I'd
he-
love
Sam
to
Rivers.
take-
Does he own the Rivers store?
Like quite possibly. They sell
Damn.
big combat
The
boots and
franchise.
like fucking like 3/4 cargo pants with camo.
Man, I'd love to take it to the Matthews Bridge, if you know what I'm saying.
I don't.
Do a big
Can you
drum solo.
extrapolate?
I'd like to fuck on the Matthews
Yes,
Bridge.
finally. Jamie admits that he likes to fuck.
The Dave Matthews Bridge.
The Dave Matthews Bridge is just like the yeah. That's a great.
That's a thing that never really crossed over to Australia because they're like
what
the kind of
loving
like
Dave Matthews?
Well, aren't
Well,
they
just
like
Dave Matthews
a
Band in
lame
general,
version
'cause-
of like the Grateful Dead? Like people follow them
Kinda,
around
yeah.
and shit.
But they were just like they've always been just this like kind of like punchline for just kind of milquetoast boring like music or whatever.
You're
But it
breathing
never-
very heavily.
It
into
never
the
got
microphone.
over here.
Sorry.
You're getting like
Yeah,
horned
nobody
up
likes
looking at your
Dave
phone.
Matthews in Australia.
Like if you walked up to most people in Australia and was like, "Oh, fucking how shit is Crash Into Me," or whatever it's
I don't
called.
think many people would even know what
I
crash
don't know
into
what
me
that
is.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
I'd been calling it crashing for years before
Right.
because like I just assumed.
I
I
that
mean,
was
I only
fun.
know
I
the
don't know
name
what
of
you're
the song
talking
because
about.
they like talked about it extensively on a podcast.
Yeah, I know about it from people ripping on it more than I
Yeah.
know what
This,
it
this,
is.
is, well, this is a photo of this is my Tom DeLonge piercing.
This is terrible pod content.
I'm just
Andy.
talking to Todd. To
Todd.
to Todd, my friend Todd Bensley.
Where did you get Todd from? It's not even Tom.
it's not
It
only
was-
it's not only terrible podcasting; it's a terrible photo.
Yeah, my sweet
Yeah,
little
got
Tom
him.
DeLonge lip piercing.
Yeah, you're ugly
Dan,
as
you
shit in that
offended
photo.
19-year-old me.
Yeah, you're ugly as shit in that photo. You still are. No, you're actually much more handsome. You kind of grew into your face.
Thanks, man.
What I'm saying
that's
is you're
true.
getting fat.
It's
now.
absolutely
Yeah.
what happened. I look better with some weight. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
less
bit-
If you
Yeah.
listen to the podcast, you can hear Andy getting fatter and fatter as it goes on.
I'm 70. I actually lost a little bit of weight. I lost 2 kilos.
What?
Doing what?
Not on
Cocaine?
purpose, just like have.
I've lost
To
a
be
heap
fair,
of
I
weight
weighed my. It
lately.
was like we gotta be honest with you guys. I did weigh myself like a minute after I took a shit the other day.
Oh, you got to do it at that time.
So, but based on that, I was
Yeah,
2
that's-
kilos
Oh,
lighter
no.
than I have been. It's
That's-
still recording. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So if anybody heard that loud bang,
Was it?
that
Did it come out in the
was-
headphones?
Oh, I don't. You're the one that was wearing the headphones.
He was.
Not
at the
when.
time.
Not at the time.
Jamie tripped over the mic and his headphone as he was presumably trying to duck out. for a
Sounds
piss.
good. No, I was
Even
gonna
though-
get another beer because Bensley's only had 3, and we need to get rid of them all.
Well, this pod's
You get
got
me
to
one?
end pretty soon, right? Like,
Yeah, in like 4 minutes.
Vet just ordered pizza, so
We
I gotta
can-
go soon.
Let's take this fucking pod road. Let's take it off road.
Let's-
Let's just take it road.
Let's take a road.
Talk about some other shit.
Road pod.
All right.
We can just have a beer and the podcast be done.
Oh yeah,
yes,
that's fair
that's
enough.
exactly what I was thinking.
All right, so we just plug stuff.
Yeah.
Does anyone have anything else to say about
Mike
this
Butthole.
terrible album?
It's a great album.
This
Fuck
is
you.
their best album. Oh, we wanted to get Benzo's rankings
Yeah.
because we've done our rankings on the Enema of the State.
Yeah, right.
Episode.
Well, that's what I was saying. I think
Album, you mean?
Episode.
Our album rankings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think re-listening to this and like reading the Wikipedia and stuff, I think I and I can't say for sure. I used to say Take Off Your Pants and Jacket was my favorite. I think maybe that Enema of the State might be my favorite. I think it might be the best album.
Correct.
Then Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
I don't know about
then
this.
Dude Ranch.
Yep.
Yes.
And this.
No.
And then Cheshire Cat. Oh,
What about Neighborhoods?
Neighborhoods is just
well,
not that good.
dude,
man.
I haven't listened to Neighborhoods, to be honest.
I,
I've
like-
listened to it like 3 times.
Sucked in.
I've
He
listened to
won't
like
even
3
fucking
fucking
listen to
times.
it.
Neighborhoods is better than this album.
If you're listening to this and you haven't listened to
Don't
Neighborhoods,
listen to
probably
Angels
don't
and
bother.
Airwaves, you fucking loser.
I love
I-
Boxcar Racer.
I honestly love Boxcar. I also like Angels and Airwaves. So
I don't like
I haven't
Angels.
listened to Angels and Airwaves. Maybe
Yeah,
I should if I like
can give
Neighborhoods
you,
so
I
much.
can give you my 3 favorite Angels and Airwaves songs sometime, and you can check them out in your own time.
I've listened to The Adventure.
That's a great song.
Yeah,
Everything's
it's fine.
Magic's a great song.
But that's kind of great in like it's kind of bad kind of.
Oh,
way.
it's all kind of great because it's kind of bad. I also think
Call to Arms is fun.
Secret Crowds and Anomaly are both great songs. They're pretty good. They're all about how the world's going to be great after we use
Anomaly
alien technology
by
to grow.
Incubus is a great song.
Yeah, well, wish you were here.
All right, plugs.
I'm gay.
I'm doing
Okay, well, that's your big revelation for the podcast. Come to Powerbomb Comedy every Friday night.
Come to Comedy at Papa Getty's the 3rd Tuesday of every month.
Come to UTS every Tuesday if you're around and you're a student. or
Andrew
whatever.
Bensley is
Come on your
emceeing
face.
soon.
Come on my face. If you're a dude.
Go to Cactus Juice every Monday, hosted by Andrew
you don't want to
Bensley
plug your own
at the
room. You
Newtown
just want to
Hotel.
tell people that you're a homosexual man.
Come to Cactus is fun.
In all seriousness, Cactus Juice is, I assume, all of our favourite open mic.
Sydney's best open mic.
It's the best.
It's Sydney's best open mic.
By
It's fucking
far.
sick. Come
better than
down.
a lot of booked rooms.
We're all there every week. Go
Yeah.
down.
Come to the Powerbomb Comedy Festival.
Yeah. We're
Yep.
all doing shows in it except Bensley.
4 shows a night every Saturday.
I'll be there.
in
I'll be watching
October.
all of them.
Yeah, please.
My show is called Rose Piper. Thanks for coming out supporting live comedy. It's at 5:45 on October 26th.
Come see You Up with Andrew Hastings, 9:30 October 5th. It's a talk show starring me. We've got guests, 2 of which have been confirmed. We've got sex educator Siren Vandal, and we've got Tom Walker, comedian. And we're looking at a 3rd guest, and we've got some exciting prospects for that. It's going to be 6. Steph Broadridge, Jamie Kirk, Charlie McCann, all involved in the show.
Yeah. Don't come to my show. It's called Let's Cancel the Show. It's at 5:45, so you'll probably be doing something else. Don't worry about it. Bye. To the next step.
To the next step.
To the next step.
I'm lost without you, man. It's such a good album. Fuck
No,
you
it's
for not
bad.
liking it.